We all know that Donald Trump suspended aid to many places across the globe. Yes, he stopped that aid to South Africa, but South Africa is not the only country that experienced that halt to funding. Many clinics and health workers were affected here and in many other places across the world. But listen to this rumbling to see the confusion or the deception from the lips of this comrade.
With this standing threat that, because you passed an Exploration Act, therefore Trump would withhold funding to South Africa. And I said, let's not mobilize Africa. Let's withhold minerals to US. That is it. If they don't give us money, let's not give them minerals.
Were we getting donations from American citizens simply because they were receiving minerals from us? No. Yet the Minister of Mineral Resources, Gwede Mantashe, comes out and tries to get us on his side by saying, if they don't give us money, then we should not give them minerals. Sounds powerful, doesn't it? I guess that's why some people in the audience even clapped to this deception. I hope none of you were tricked by this nonsense. I hope he doesn't believe the nonsense that came out of his mouth and is simply talking nonsense to get the Pan-Africanist comrades cheering. I mean, seriously, does the US government take minerals from our country in exchange for PEPFAR to fight HIV, AIDS, and gender dysphoria? Does it? Yet a whole minister is telling the masses that is the case. The dangers with statements like these is that in no time you hear people at the work coffee stations and on the buses repeating these lies. It doesn't take much to spread nonsense and confusion. If they don't give us money, let's not give them minerals. When America or American companies buy minerals from South Africa, what kind of deals are these politicians signing? I really wonder. This speech from Gwede Mantashe shows that he is just occupying a critical position, but the critical thinking is really not there. This man is a minister, fellow citizens, not a minister of social development or some other portfolio, but he is a minister of mineral and petroleum resources. He, of all people, should not be uttering such nonsense about minerals. Minister of Minerals who can't separate issues. Aid and donations are not linked to minerals, or are they, Mr. Mantashe? Are you telling our people that you have been selling off our wealth in exchange for donations? Or are you saying that you, as a Minister of Mineral and Petroleum Resources, don't know the difference between the money paid for the minerals and the money that comes through aid? Which is it?
But the reality, they take our minerals, but say why we're withdrawing funding. No, we have minerals in the continent, and therefore we have something that we have.
They don't take our minerals, Minister. They buy our minerals. You and your comrades agree to hand over the minerals in exchange for something, and if you agree to exchange our minerals for aid or donations, then you and your ANC comrades are more useless than we already thought you were.
We have something that we have. We're not just beggars.
Having minerals has not stopped our country from being beggars, Minister. One would think that with all the minerals that South Africa has been blessed with, we would be the best in the world. But you and your ilk have caused us to become beggars on the world stage, even with the resources. We have been beggars. We have been waiting for donations from others. We barely have anything to offer the world apart from the minerals that are found in the ground, many not even processed. There's no ingenuity you apply into turning our country from depending on primary industries. The fact that you depend so much on primary industries is the problem.
But we must just use that endowment for our benefit as a continent. But if as a continent we are frightened, we fear everything, we are going to collapse and will collapse with minerals at our doorstep.
Hunter, what have you been doing all this time? We must use that endowment for our benefit as a continent. You are supposed to be saying that you are already using that endowment for our benefit. Why is this coming out now? Why? Why was it not said by you and your comrades years before Trump started complaining? Simply because Trump wants to withhold funding, you start realizing that we must just use that endowment for our benefit as a continent. Awa, guys. Awa. Use that endowment that our nation has and stop complaining about other people's money. It is not your money that Trump is going to withhold. It is money that belongs to the American taxpayers. You must use our endowment to fund our own initiatives here. Don't rely on foreign aid and claim to not be a beggar. Don't rely on America or China or Russia and claim to not be a beggar. Look inside your nation and harness the only true resource you can rely on, the people. We are the true resource you can really rely on. Minerals get depleted. America buys our minerals not only to use them, but also to hoard them. They keep minerals. But why? Because they are thinking ahead. They know that these minerals run out and eventually there will be no more minerals to mine, and with the advancement in technology, these minerals are bound to be extremely expensive the more scarce they become. The countries that hold these minerals and oil will be at the forefront of the industrial development of the future. They will not rely on hostile nations. China is doing the same. Learn from the forward thinking that other nations are doing. Additionally, learn to use a human resource that you have here. In case you were not just trying to deceive the masses, but actually believed what you said in that speech.
On that front, and I just thought we'd touch on what is seemingly a successful case, right, of how the land situation and mining rights have come to the fore to help a community that I'm sure a few of us do know quite well as well. The Royal Bafokeng Nation. In 1925, the world's largest deposits of platinum group metals were found on the Bafokeng land at that point in time. Mining companies are now paying them royalties indeed to in exchange for the right to mine on that land. Also, a court settlement in 1999 with Impala Platinum, the second largest platinum mining company in South Africa, gave the company as well, gave the Royal Bafokeng Nation a 22% stake royalty on all platinum as well taken from their territory, and an ownership stake as well in Impala Platinum. Now, of course, they went on to build as well the sports complex where Platinum Stars FC as well does take up a whole lot of its training and a foreground as well. They built a stadium as well to that to try and benefit that community, indeed quite helping on that front. Of course, the value of the Bafokeng stake in Impala Platinum tripled to more than 685 million. That was back in 2001. It's over $1 billion now. The Bafokeng receive annual royalties of approximately 870 million rand from platinum mining as well. They established a sovereign wealth fund called the Royal Bafokeng Royal Bafokeng Holdings, rather, which is an investment entity out here in Johannesburg, which is responsible for taking care of their funds as well as their money, overseeing growth and maintenance as well of their community income streams. It is considered Africa's most progressive community investment model as well. And of course, one of the things that they have built, which is really, really significant, is a 450 million rand school. That's part of the Royal Bafokeng Nation's upliftment program. And they have the Royal Bafokeng Institute, whose goal is to improve education and learning for the Royal Bafokeng Nation.
As South Africa, we are being paid, Minister. We are being paid to give up valuable resources, and all we do is dig. Nobody forced us to give up these minerals behind the power to come. We are doing it willingly through individuals like you, Gwede Mantashe. If South Africa and Africa do not start realizing the importance of its own minerals, if we don't start hoarding some and selling some, if we do not strictly focus on enriching our country with skills and knowledge, we will regret it. Why do I mention skills and knowledge? Because the right skills and institutions can go further than the minerals. Countries like Japan, Switzerland, Singapore, Hong Kong, Luxembourg, Finland, among many others, do not have the mineral resources that Africa has. But they have one thing that matters. They have vision. They have skills, they have knowledge, and they have harnessed the talent that is needed to convert minerals into useful tools and appliances. That is very important. Today, with minerals, the countries with skills rule the world. When minerals run out, the ones hoarding now will dictate the future for centuries. Those with the skills to find alternative sources and alternative uses are the ones that will survive. Where will we as South Africa and Africa be in all of this?
So, my appeal is that Africa is the world's richest mining jurisdiction. And that issue is an issue that we must internalize as a continent, use it to our advantage.
African leaders really need to start thinking. Not thinking like Gwede Mantashe, who thinks with his stomach only. When someone takes away a plate is when he starts talking about what Africans should be doing. He exposes how pathetic he is. Or what do you guys think? Is Gwede Mantashe suddenly a visionary now? Is he about to bring us the era of Wakanda? You know the answer. Anyway, that's it for today. Please like, share, and subscribe. To support our work, get your Citizen Concerned or Beware of the Comrades t-shirt at www.citizenconcerned.co.za. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Katlego. This is Citizen Concerned. And until next time, beware of the comrade.